Florence Eye Care in Florence, Alabama, was the winner of Review of Optometry's Modern Office Award in 2010. Florence Eye Care is a prime example of the collaboration between two great companies with a vision for the future. In this video, you'll see how Woodlyn and Florence Eye Care partnered to provide superior eye care alongside the latest technology. The result? The ultimate customer experience and efficiencies that were never experienced before.
I'm Heather Davis. I manage Florence and Tuscumbia Eye Centers. I have about 7 years here at this office, but I've been in the industry for about 12. I've worked in all different parts of the office. I've been an optician, a technician, and now I'm the office manager here. It is an interesting practice. We have 3 optometrists, 2 locations, kind of a rural part of Alabama. Nice practice, recently built a new office, and I got to have a major hand in designing that. We have 8 exam rooms in the new location. It's about 7,300 square feet, and is one of the more technology kind of savvy offices that I've ever been in, and that's kind of our game is to be kind of on the front edge of technology. The office opened December the 1st and started seeing patients then, added a new doctor when we moved. We've been paperless since 2005 and used a couple of different systems, but now using CompuLink and then some of the Woodlyn technologies as far as image management and things of that nature. Our Florence office is our main location. It's the larger of the 2 offices and busier. We usually have 2 optometrists at this location. We have a location in Tuscumbia, Alabama. It's a smaller location, kind of a small town. The 2 offices, the staff intermingles. So altogether there are 17 people who work for the 2 offices. There are 3 physicians, 13 staff members, and myself. They're all interchangeable, so staff members move back and forth between the 2 locations for training purposes and just scheduling type issues. We are able to use the Woodlyn product and our CompuLink EHR product between the 2 locations so that you actually can view instantly retinal photos, slit lamp images at one office that may have been taken at the other, so that it makes us a little more productive in our day-to-day work, so that I can view a photo that was taken in our Tuscumbia office just minutes before. If we have an emergency patient, doctors can consult back and forth because they can actually see the retinal photos within just a few seconds of them being taken. The MedMont software has allowed the 2 offices to be linked, and it's the first time I've ever worked in a practice where you could actually transfer images back and forth between 2 locations. And when I say transfer, they're really all one database. So you can actually just click and open the photos between one location and the other. The EHR is the same way. So if I have a patient who's seen in my Florence office, their exam record is visible in my Tuscumbia office as soon as it's saved and completed, which is a nice feature with our patients. Our offices are about 15 minutes apart, so our patients go back and forth between the 2 offices quite often. As a patient arrives in our office, one of the things that we've recently implemented is patient web registration. So when they make that first phone call in for an appointment, we're going to ask that they go to our website and access our new web registration feature so that they can provide us with their insurance and demographic information before they arrive for their appointment, as well as their medical health history. Recently, that was launched with CompuLink so that that information can actually be transferred directly into our software, which makes us even more efficient. So before the patient even arrives in the office, our work has already started. They're going to go online and generate all of the information that will actually populate into our software so that when they arrive in our office and come through the front door, we can simply greet them, make a scanned copy of their insurance card that's stored in our software, and we're going to take a face shot so that we can put kind of a face with a name, and then allow our patient to just have a seat at that point, because the work there is just basically transferring their information over from the internet. Our technicians are going to be standing by and watching patient tracking for a patient to populate, and they're going to immediately call the patient back to the exam room to get things started for our physicians. All of our physicians use technicians to prep patients for them. before their exam. So they're going to pull a patient back and go ahead and start gathering the patient's medical history. Hopefully the patient's gone online and filled this information out, and basically we go through a process where we confirm that information with the patient. Medications can be put in on the site, all family ocular history, surgical history, any health problems that the patient has. All of that information can be supplied ahead of time. So basically our technicians just verify that information with the patient. If the patient has any disease present that we are aware of or is diabetic, then we're going to go ahead and take retinal photos of the patient that day so that the doctor will have those available in the exam room when he comes in. Our technicians will do tonometry with a tono pen, pachymetry if it's necessary, and then move the patient into a position where they're ready to see the doctor. We use soft phones in our office, which run on our tablets, and we wear a Bluetooth headset, so that it's really easy to page a doctor to a patient. And then our software, CompuLink, has built-in patient tracking that also alerts the doctor when a patient is ready for him. So we'll have the doctor then come into the exam room. He'll be able to complete his exam with the patient, and when he finishes his exam, if he needs any additional testing, then he can call a technician back to him utilizing that soft phone. It actually has a really unique intercom feature where he can actually phone any member of the staff from the exam room over his computer, and the patient can't hear because it's on a Bluetooth earpiece. It took a little bit of getting used to there, but it's actually one of the things that we find to really make our office even more efficient. Having a larger office, it's really difficult if you constantly are running upstairs, downstairs, or from one side of the office to the other. Our dispensary is over on the far side of the office, so instead of the doctor spending time going over to the opticians, he'll actually at the end of an exam call an optician to him and the patient so that they can escort the patient out. And calling Woodlyn, they kind of step back and they don't start immediately trying to sell you a piece of equipment. They want to know what you need, and that's what's important to me. I don't want to just be sold equipment. I want to be sold what we need, and I want to know how it can make me money, and I want to know that it's the best fit for our office. It's not going to be something that we regret. You know, we started with a few pieces initially, and we were kind of replaced pieces as they needed to be, and we added a lane of equipment. One of the most recent things we added were slit lamp cameras, and then when we got ready to furnish the new office, there was really no doubt who we were going to call. I actually didn't even get a bid from anybody else. It was just that easy for us. I mean, we trust Woodlyn. We trust the guys that come out who install the equipment. We trust the sales department. We trust every part of Woodlyn. Really, we have a lot of Woodlyn product in our office, and really anything that they make, we have it. And it's that trust that's there. It's that knowing that if I walk in a room and something's wrong with a slit lamp camera or a slit lamp in general, that I can phone Woodlyn, and you know they're going to help me find the right answer. It's not going to be box it up and send it in, because they know that we can't afford to do that. We can't afford to just take equipment out of production and send it to some warehouse where somebody's going to take it apart and, you know, attempt to fix it and call you in 2 or 3 weeks with what's wrong. They're going to make every effort they can to take care of the problem in the office and helping me take care of it so that I don't have downtime where it costs me money. One of the things in the office that if you go paperless or get to a technological standpoint that we're at, you do have to have outside help. So we have IT guys that, you know, work with us on some of our basic things that don't really involve our exam equipment, but just day-to-day activities, setting up printers and things of that nature. We actually use a company we're really happy with. They help us see the big picture as far as computers go. You know, one of the things in working with Woodlyn is that Woodlyn does communicate with those vendors, and they can actually talk with the vendors and help the vendors make our product work a little bit better for us, and help our local IT guys have a better understanding of what we're trying to accomplish.
I've never experienced anything like it. I think is what makes it hard, because I've never really felt like we had someone that we could call in the industry that really understood eye care, sort of the full scope of eye care, that could take all the bits and pieces of what we do and sort of put it into a package that worked. So it's been really nice that we had someone we could call and say, you know, how do you do this? Do you know anybody that does this? Have you, in all your experience out there, run into another practice that does anything like we do? And we always got an answer, and it was great. I mean, basically took a 2,400 square foot practice and created a 7,200 square foot practice, and it works. And it works great. And most of that came from talking with Woody and Ben and Keith and the guys at Woodlyn. They all had great ideas of how we can take pieces of equipment, layout of a room, equipment as far as like tablet computers, everything sort of was put into a package, and it works. And I think we improved our efficiency like 32%, and it was mainly as a result of dealing with Woodlyn. It's been awesome.